Good morning, good evening, good night, good whatever time it is that you are joining us right here at the Africa UAE Business Summit webinar, which is has become a weekly routine to just come up here and you know give you amazing information, give you amazing tidbits about what's happening in Africa, what's happening in the UAE, and how we can help you to connect, and how we can become a bridge to connect Africans to opportunities in the UAE, and also connect people in the UAE to opportunities in Africa. And of course, the big news right now is yes, we are coming to Dubai. We're also coming to Russell Khaimah, but of course, we'll start out with Dubai. From the 5th to the 11th of May, we're going to be down there. And particularly, we're going to be having our very first face to face Africa UAE Business Summit at the Kiza restaurant, that is the DIFC area, from 11 to 2. And of course, today we're going to be touching a little bit of what are we coming to Dubai to do? What are some of the opportunities that we are hoping to come down there and help, our partners, grab and achieve? And also, what are some of those connections that we are hoping to achieve when we come down there? And of course, I have my elder statesman, aka my brother, William. How are you?
I'm good, brother. I lost you. Where am I now? I had
I
you
can
and I
see
lost
you.
you. Yes, I know.
Hmm.
Where are you? Uh-huh. I lost you.
I can see you. We can see you. We can hear you well.
Yes, I know. I
Awesome.
know. I lost. Tell you what, keep going. I
Okay.
seem to misplace where we are.
No worries. No worries. So, like we've said, we are coming down to Dubai from the 5th of May to the 11th. And on the 7th of May, which is the big day to note, 7th of May, will be at Kiza, Dubai, DIFC. We're going to be doing our first ever physical business, Africa UAE Business Summit, connecting Africa and the UAE and taking your business to the next level. And just to help you understand, how do we structure our trips? Because it's not just about an event. And to just to give you a little bit of, sorry. So yeah, big news is we are coming to Dubai. And now, to help you set the stage, why do people travel for business from time immemorial? Whether it's the Chinese, uh, whether it's the Egyptians, cultures have always traveled for business and for commercial reasons. And the reason why we travel is most of our clients actually and most of our partners we find they travel either for market expansion, either from Africa for trying to expand to the UAE, or vice versa. From the UAE, guys are trying to expand into Africa. Another reason why people travel is for supply. Someone is looking for either supply of finished goods, supply of a particular thing from the UAE, to import it into Africa, or supply of materials, and especially agribusiness, which is something we're going to be getting into tonight, back into the UAE. And also capital is another reason why people travel, because possibly you're looking to access capital, foreign direct investment. So those are some of the reasons why people travel. And um, also, people travel to attend conferences and events, client meetings, grow your knowledge, especially under the medical tourism. There's a lot, those in the medical field, there's a lot to learn from each other. And there's a huge need to travel across, and also business expansion. These are the main reasons why a lot of people travel. And I mentioned them just, to set a base for the conversations that we're going to have. Because after a while we realized that there's a lot of inefficiencies in travel, because you travel, you're not sure who you're going to see. It's sort of a and miss, shoot and pray sort of trip that a lot of people do. And that's why we Africa Networking, UAE Africa Networking Group and Moaida Africa came together to just create this amazing platform so that we can take away the guesswork from your travel. The webinars are really designed to educate you on the opportunities that are there on both sides. So then you begin to sort of lay a case and lay a foundation before you even start the travel. And then now these particular trips are for those who have seen the opportunity and they're ready to sort of go out and seize them. And we come in and try and make it as stress free as possible because it's already hard enough running a business, trying to get new business, trying to expand into new markets. It's already a big challenge. And so one of the things we do is we help you with your market entry strategy. We look at where is the gap in the market, the pricing, what's your distribution channel, what are the regulatory requirements, your brand marketing approach, cultural barriers, and a lot of other things that you may not have seen going in. So we're able to come in, because we have experts on both sides of the divide. We are able to really help you, bridge that gap and really help you, make your trip that much more successful. The other thing we do is we help you with strategic meetings, which is we start by vetting people that you're going to meet. Today I was sharing with someone who wants to come with us to Dubai, and I was telling them we actually sell the most precious commodity, and it's not oil, it's not diamonds, it's not any of those, it's not coffee, it's not anything. The most precious commodity is actually trust, which is what we trade in, because we're able to vet the people that you're going to meet on the other side. We're also able to make that introduction, because on this other side, we are able to vet the people whom we're going with. So we make sure our partners in Dubai are partnering with the right people, and also we have other partners in Dubai and in the UAE checking out and making sure that the people you're meeting on the other side have been vetted, and so that you can be sure that whatever meetings that you're gonna have and whatever business you're gonna kick off is gonna, just to manage the risk. The other thing we do is, of course, we set up the meetings, and most importantly, we prepare you for success. Okay, because there are a lot of nuances that you may underestimate when you're getting into a new market, and just a small issue, a very small thing, can really throw off your entire trip and make your entire trip a complete loss. And just one small nuance and one small understanding from the right person can really make or break your meetings. And so those are some of the things we do for you. um Something we've just added, that's why we are having the business summit both in Dubai and in Russell Khaimah. Events are a very good form of activation. For me, I always look at an event not just as an activity, or from an event planning perspective. I always look at events from a marketing perspective, because at the end of the day, the reason why you execute a business event is to achieve a business end. And your business end could be branding, could be marketing, could be sales, could be acquiring capital, whatever your commercial interest is. That has to be fused within the event, and that's why we are calling it event activation. So from the logistics, event planning, basically just take out that headache away from you. Curate the event, to achieve your commercial goals, whether it is who we invite, how we structure the event, how we structure the marketing, who's in the room, what kind of conversations are having. Then, of course, invite all the right people, because obviously you've traveled all that way. We make sure that you are talking to the right people, not just in the room, but also through digital platforms such as this. We make sure that your conversation and your pitch is going out widely. Then the other thing is we literally prepare you for success. Everything from helping you with your pitch, helping with your material, your branding, down to the smallest detail of what you wear, and how you present yourself. And again, all this, like I'd say, it's the small things that make the big difference. And so what we do at Africa UAE Business Summit is just literally drill down to the smallest detail to just make sure that we prepare you for success. Now, the big news: Africa UAE Business Summit coming to Dubai, coming to Russell Khaimah. Some of the major things that we will be looking at, and today I'll just get a small chance to just barely scratched the surface on some of the things we're going to be discussing. So we'll be looking at African carbon credits. We'll be looking at UAE real estate. We'll be looking at Kenyan agribusiness and Kenya supply of fresh foods from Kenya. We'll be looking at medical tourism. We'll also be looking at fintech and venture capitalists. And today we're going to have Shafat from Stallion Gate Capital, who's going to be just touching a little bit on what to expect at the Africa UAE Business Summit. So anyone in Dubai, you really need to book your slots. Slots are going for, I think, 150 dirhams. That will cater for lunch and a few snacks. But what's really going to be served is the conversation. The conversations that are going to be served are going to be amazing. We're going to be really opening your eyes to amazing opportunities, both in Africa and in Kenya and in the UAE, touching on all these talk points. So let me just touch a little bit, just literally scratching the surface. So the climate change conversation is something that's been going on for a while. And if you're familiar with what they call the Paris Declaration, is to keep global warming to no more than 15%, as called in the Paris Agreement. So emissions need to be reduced by 45% by 2030 and net zero by 2050. So 2030, we're about 6 years away from the first target, and another, what's that calculation? Probably 25 years from the ultimate 2050 goal. And so to achieve this, there's been the issue of carbon credits. So carbon credits are a valuable tool in the fight against climate change. They used to represent the reduction of 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide emission and are used to offset emissions produced elsewhere. So basically, companies and individuals can purchase carbon credits to compensate for their carbon footprint, and supporting projects that reduce greenhouse gas emissions. These projects can include renewable energies initiatives, reforestation efforts, and energy efficiency programs. By investing in carbon credits, we can play a big part in mitigating the impact of our activities on the environment and contributing to more sustainable future. And so the concept of the carbon credits has really come in play, and we'll be coming down with Furaha and Baraka Farms, who are in the tree planting space, and so they'll be sharing with you some of the ideas and some of the things they've been some of the projects that they've been involved with in Kenya, particularly, just to kick off that conversation. But we also have a lot of experts on carbon credits in from UAE joining us and just sharing more about this topic. And just to give you an idea, in case for those who may not be so familiar with this particular opportunity, the value of traded global markets for CO2 permits reached a record 881 euros, which is 948 billion. That's almost $1 trillion in 2023, marking a 2% increase on the previous year. So we're talking about nearly $1 trillion, and of course the experts will give you more accurate numbers, but we're looking at about $1 trillion that's already been invested in carbon credits and in climate change. 2% increase from last year to this year. So you can imagine, as we go nearer to the 2050 target, how much more money is going to be committed to carbon credits. And so this is the time to get in, guys. And of course, Africa has the advantage of not being not having a lot of carbon credits, because we are not polluters that much. And so Africa becomes a great space for anyone who's looking to zero rate their CO2 emissions. And that's why we are really well placed for that. And it's those are some of the conversations we're going to be having. So just again to give you some numbers, from 2015 to 2020, 35 governments reported a total of more than 182 billion in grants, loans, bonds, equity, investment, and other contributions. So bottom line is this: there's more investments going into carbon credits, and there's absolutely no reason why any of that investment should not be coming to you or to your organization. And so, depending on where you want to be on this supply chain, whether you want to be on the putting together of the projects, on the finance side, you want to be on the execution side, you want to be on the science side, there's so much there's so many sides to this for you to really just plug in, get in there, and get it on the ground floor and just go up with us. So that's in that. Now let's look at fresh fruit supply. So one of the things that is absolutely amazing about UAE and Dubai is that it's largely desert. They don't have a lot of arable land. So Dubai imports about 80 to 90% of its food. So that makes it the largest, almost one of the largest importers of fresh foods. So the UAE has invested a lot across Africa, about 50,000 to about 100,000 acres in Egypt, Sudan. So they've invested a lot in production, but that's still not enough because Dubai right now has a population of about 3 million, which is increasing by 1.43% each year. And the target is to get to 5.8 million by 2040. So, simple math. There's already a lot of demand for food. That demand is almost not being met. Okay, obviously being met because people are alive. But the thing is, there's a huge demand for food, and that demand is actually increasing because we're talking of 3.5.8 by 2040. Some interesting facts and figures to give you. Fresh foods. So this is data from 2021. So in 2021, UAE imported $6.32 billion worth of foodstuff. Now, wow, let that number sink. Okay, $6.32 billion dollars of foodstuff. So that's a market. That's a market size that's there. So I mean, I'm yet to do the numbers on how much food we produce in Kenya, in East Africa, in Africa. But I can assure you there is huge potential. We could literally grow our current production and still not be able to meet, the food supply in the UAE. And just to give you a couple of numbers, so dairy, $1.5 billion of dairy into Dubai and the UAE in 2021. Food preparation 1.2 billion, fresh food 0.82, tree nuts 0.76. One of the companies we're actually coming to Dubai with is Lamu Nuts. Okay, these guys make some of the premium nuts, in Kenya, and we're really hoping to come down to Dubai and just give them a slice of that 0.7 billion dollar market that's down there. Beef products 0.5 billion, chocolate and cocoa products 0.48 billion, fresh veggies 0.43 billion, wine and beer 0.38 billion, meat products 0.37 billion. And that was in 2021. So you can imagine with growing population, how are those numbers going to be looking at 2025, 2027 and moving forward? So can you imagine if you plug in your company and you come with us down there and we help you sort of jump in on the fast floor and literally rise with this growing market? Your guess is as good as mine. So that's about it on my current presentation. Let me see if I can bring back William. Hi, William.
I'm here. How are you, man?
I'm good. So
good. Great information. Great presentation.
Yes, you've had that you have those numbers now. Just thinking around both carbon credits and food, what are the opportunities that you see in financing? Because you're seeing this huge potential for carbon credits. Also, you're seeing this huge potential for food production. Obviously, the demand in the UAE way supersedes the production down here. So what are some of those opportunities you're seeing in terms of just financing before you even get into the nuts and bolts of the sectors?
Well, I think first and foremost, before we get into financing, there are huge opportunities for agri processors.
Mhm,
There's huge opportunities for producers of certain fruits and vegetables. Flowers is another big market. And when you look at Dubai, when you look at the UAE, um, you have to think that there's 200 nationalities here. And so I always tell entrepreneurs in Africa, don't look at the UAE as 10 million plus people. Look at it as 200 or 199 different markets that you potentially can tap into. By having a summit like what we're doing, we're essentially inviting the whole business community to come and hear what opportunities or what um, products that these companies are bringing to the table. So this is one. The other thing is when you look at the numbers that you mentioned, it's really really fantastic in terms of what they can sell and what they can present to this market, and also our neighbors next door, which is Saudi Arabia, over 33 million people. When you look at Qatar, you look at Kuwait, these are all economies with great disposable income. And perhaps some of those products are not there. So, Dubai, the UAE is a great platform and a great stage for these other economies. So, when it comes to financing, um, there are quite a few finance houses, family offices, and other investment houses that are looking for projects or looking for companies that they can invest in. There's quite a few investors that are looking at, next generation technology, food security, and other, sustainable businesses that they can invest in. And again, the UAE and Dubai is a great place for such VCs and other financiers and funders. Um, so yeah, I think I covered what you really wanted to talk about. I think we have
mhm,
some who's joining us who can talk even further about it. Is
mhm.
he ready to go? Is he up? Is he available? And if not, we can
Not
go.
yet.
So let's go to the next thing that we're going to talk about during the summit, which is medical tourism, and it's one of the things
Mhm,
that we covered during our series. Um, in the UAE being one of the best markets um, for medical tourism, our good Dr. Ahmed said something very profound. He said that certain surgeries or certain procedures, unlike anywhere else in the world, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 2 a.m., it doesn't matter. These procedures are being performed right here in the UAE. UAE is known, Dubai in particular, is known for the bespoke services that they provide, which you cannot find anywhere else, whether it be Turkey or India or these other places. This year, the UAE Africa Networking Group has now joined hands with the Global Wellness Alliance, which is really evolving into a premier network of medical professionals, individuals who are really looking out for their health, and also deep dive into corporate wellness as well, and you know entrepreneurs as well that need to always look out for their health and um, for their staff's well-being as well. So medical tourism is another topic that we're definitely going to delve into. And then you talked also about carbon credits. Africa is one of those few places where there's actually not a lot of finance around the carbon credits initiatives. However, the U.S. and the U.K. and Europe in particular has a lot of money to give to projects, individuals, governments, organizations, and companies in exchange for their carbon credits. So we're going to hear from the experts. We're going to hear from some of the finance houses. We're going to hear from the industry on how you can get your project ready. We've got one company from Kenya that's coming over that's actually looking for these kinds of finances, and so we're going to do some matchmaking. So I'm really excited about that as well. So so anyone, it doesn't, you don't have to be from Kenya, you can be from Tanzania, you can be from Nigeria, you can be from Ghana. Reach out to myself or Bonnie if you want to participate, if you want to be a part of this, if you want to showcase your products or services. If you're looking for matchmaking, if you're looking for finance, if you're looking for new markets, you're an African entrepreneur out there, this is for you. And again, I've said this from day one. This is the essence and the ethos of why we do what we do. We are the UAE Africa Network, and our focus are the SMEs. Okay. So, Mr. Bonnie, do we have our guest? Is he available now?
Not yet, not yet, not
Yep.
yet. So I'm still
Okay.
trying to
That's okay.
reach him.
We keep going. We
So,
keep.
but yeah, yeah. So one of the things that obviously we do is that matchmaking. So
Mm-hmm.
just take guys through that process and how important is it? Because one of the things I was having a conversation with someone today, someone who wants to come with us. He's talking
Mm-hmm.
about well, the most precious commodity, which is trust. Yeah,
Okay.
there is it's worth more than gold, more
Sure.
than anything,
Sure.
because it's literally priceless.
Sure.
Something simple as a barber. I usually travel like almost 30 minutes
Mm-hmm.
or even an hour sometimes to just go to my barber because I trust him.
That's
I'm
good.
not, even if I'm out of the country, no matter where I am, I'm gonna wait. Like now when I'm traveling, I have to make sure I schedule uh my appointment with my barber like just before I leave
Okay.
because
Before you go any further, we talked about culture in this
mm,
whole process. What's a bubba?
mhm.
For those in the audience that
oh
don't know, like myself, I don't know what's a bubba. Who's a bubba? What's it look like? You know.
oh my barber, the guy who shaves me.
Ah, my God, barber. Okay, I thought you said
Yeah.
bubba. I thought you said
Ah!
bubba, like your father or your big brother or your mentor. Okay, see, we talked
Oh,
about
that's a
there's a
good one.
culture, man.
That's accent.
Now,
You're
yeah,
right. That's the accent. Like
yes,
barber.
Imagine having a meeting with someone and you're saying my baba, and they walk away going, I didn't really know, but that guy must be really important to him, man. I wonder, is that a mentor or someone? Anyway,
Oh,
your barber, please continue the story. Yeah,
oh wow, that's a good one.
it is. It is. It
Cultural
is.
barrier inventory there. But if you didn't catch that webinar on cultural barriers of
New
entry,
Yeah,
Mawaida Africa, just go back to the link. Really catch those conversations. We've had amazing conversations on this webinar. But yeah,
absolutely.
so as I was saying, I trust my barber. I trust my car dealer, the guy I buy. We literally, as human beings, we don't buy things from people whom we don't trust. So
Sure.
trust is actually one of the most priceless commodities on this planet. So just share maybe the process of building that trust in our meetings and in our trips.
So look, the network has been around since 2016. And through a number of programs and initiatives, we built a tremendous data bank or network of trusted mentors, professionals, experts over the years. And they've, been tested, tried, have performed, have given great advices. They work in some of the organizations here in the UAE, i.e., the Chamber of Commerce, economy, Department of Economic Development, and some of the free zones as well. And so there's a plethora of information. There are lots of great contacts. And we want to just make sure that anybody that's coming into this space, first of all, we want to understand what it is that they're looking to do and they're looking to achieve. And sometimes when you hear them out, it may not be, you need to connect them with someone. It's really about giving them advice. Maybe they're not ready to be
Mm.
introduced to someone. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
you and
Exactly.
I
Mm.
have gone back and forth to say this person wants to come into this market. Here is where they are, and I'll tell you they're not ready. So
Mm.
let's focus on this. This part is ready, but
Mhm.
the other part isn't.
Mm.
So you
Isn't
want to make
exactly.
sure we set up people that we really want to look after. We want to set them up for
Mm.
success. It's the first thing.
Mm.
And then after that, once we understand the requirements, are they ready financially? Do they have the money? Do they have
Mm.
the ability
Mm.
to grow? Are they
Exactly.
to expand? And then after that, if we feel that they are ready, then we do the introduction. And you know very well, my whole motto on this is we don't introduce anyone if they're not
Mm.
ready, because
Exactly.
it's a waste of time for them
Exactly.
and for the people that
Mm.
we're introducing. And
Mm.
there is a, I don't know, there is a sensing that some
Mm.
African businesses are not serious. They
Yes.
come,
Exactly.
talk, they don't
Mm.
action. And
Mm.
I faced that so many times in whatever we've been doing in terms of our events and our investment forums and things of that nature. Nothing happened in many instances. So
Mm.
we always want to be careful to maintain those relationships, and we need
Mm.
people who are ready to go to the next
Mhm.
step. So
Mm.
once they are ready to go to the next steps, the next part is market intelligence, really
Mm.
understanding the market, really understanding their clients or their potential clients,
Mm.
how what's the market size, what's it all about, where
Mm.
they need to be set up, because
Mm.
location does matter depending on what their
Mm.
business is, and then making
Mm.
sure they're having all the tools and then the right license, the right
Mm.
location of their business, whether it's a
Mm.
free zone,
Mm.
whether it's online, whether it's a physical location, bank accounts. All of
Mm.
these things are so important. And so we have a whole checklist of things that we look at, and we make sure that you're ready to go to the next step. And me and you, my friend, these relationships are not short term, where we
Mm.
take someone's money and say, there you go, you're all set up. No, we want to make sure that they're set up for success. We introduce them to the right people, and we have
Mm.
events like the Africa UAE Business Summit, where the conversations are there, the relationships are built, and we
Mm.
continue to support our SMEs and the people that we are actually introducing to the market.
Mm. Awesome. Awesome. So let's dive a little bit into the uh, real estate conversation. Now, for the maybe let me touch on my side of the conversation for some of the Kenyan real estate companies that we are bringing to Dubai to try and tap into that market. And let me just throw a couple of numbers. $58 million. You know what that is?
$58 million. It could be any number. What is it?
That's the amount of money Kenyans in the UAE remitted back into the country.
Okay. So how many Kenyans in the UAE? Any idea? So
Mm,
$58 million was remitted by how many Kenyans in the UAE? What's the
I'd have
number?
to do my numbers by that. But the
Wait.
reason
Don't do
why,
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's ask the audience. Let's ask the audience. Let's see who in the audience can tell us how many
uh,
Kenyans in the UAE. I know
uh,
the number. I know the number. So let's see. Let's
mm,
give them 10 minutes. Okay.
mm.
Let's see if somebody gets it right. Can we see the comments?
Yeah, we can see the comments.
All right. So let's see. Let's see what happens. So continue while we do this.
Okay. So the total number of remittances is about usually about $900 billion
Hmm.
to Africa. That's how much
Hmm.
money these are Africans who are living all over the world
Hmm.
pouring back into. Oh, Shay is saying 50,000 Kenyans.
Say
So so 50
yes.
million. So that's about what, a million. Okay,
But that
average.
that but that
That's
number is
averaging about 1,000. Yeah.
yeah. But ask her what year that number is from. Ask her
Shay,
what
maybe you
year
can
that.
tell us what year is your number from?
Is it from this year? Is it from 2021, 2022, 2023? It's important.
Mm,
We're working
good to know.
backwards. Oh,
Yeah,
2019. So
2019. Okay, good.
I would think that that number is much bigger now.
Yeah, definitely. So why I say that is that's a piece of the pie because
Hmm.
one thing you may not, for those probably who don't come from this market, may not know, a lot of that remittance goes mostly into subsistence, just to keep guys back at home going, but it also goes into long-term investments. These are the Kenyans and Africans from all over who are living outside there, and so they're investing in real estate. They're investing in long-term assets, and so for all the real estate companies in Africa, you need to come with us when we go on the road in the UAE. Why? Because you need to tap into not just the if it's not just from the people from your country, like if it's Kenya, not just to tap into the Kenyans in Dubai, but also tap into the Africans.
Hmm.
Hello, you with me?
I'm with you.
Cool. So there's a huge potential. There's a huge piece of pie for all the real estate companies in Africa to really get into UAE and tap into your people who are there, but also tap into some of the people in Dubai who are looking to divest and to increase their portfolio. So, give me the picture, William, from your side. What's the real estate picture?
Wow. Look, the UAE is one of the most dynamic real estate markets in the world. Very unique, unlike the US, UK, Australia, and other markets. Um, you know, so many options in terms of product here in the UAE, whether it's villas, apartments, townhouses, land where you can be your own developer. So many options here. One of the most exciting markets that I love is the Russell Khaimah market. And, I talk a lot about it because it is really truly the emerging market here in the UAE, given that the new casino is actually coming up in the next 2 years. And then also you have this new thing called the Russell Khaimah Financial Center, which is also going to be the heart of Marjan. So, you have three very distinct areas in Russell Cayman that is continuing to grow. One being Marjan, which we just spoke about, where the Wynn Casino is up and coming. And then we have Al Hamra, lots of investments from Abu Dhabi into the into the Russell Cayman market. They've invested in the mall. They've invested in some of the hotels there, some of the land plots. They're a partner with Aldar, and I believe it's Rack Properties for Nikki Beach, also for Marjan Island. Um, and then you have Min Al Arab also. So you have a Hamra, Min Al Arab, and Marjan. So these areas are really, really growing. I think the only issue that they have is they're running out of supply. They can't build fast enough. So when you look at capital appreciation just over the last year and a half, it's gone up tremendously. I don't really know the number. I don't want to misquote, but it's quite significant. So really excited about that. Dubai is Dubai. There's always great projects coming up here. The capital appreciation is also increasing. Unfortunately, for some, rents are increasing. It's just the market. I saw a statistic the other day. First quarter of this year, 25,000 new people moved into Dubai. So those are 25,000 people looking for a house to buy or somewhere to rent. So it's exciting times if you're an investor into real estate. I highly recommend the market. If you're in commercial real estate, um, there's definitely a gap in the market for commercial real estate, for buildings, offices, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I mean, this is something we're going to talk about in the summit. We're going to talk about also the real estate market in Kenya itself. I believe we've got one of the biggest developers coming across. And to be honest with you, um, I'm quite excited about the Africa landscape when it comes to real estate. I think it's really been underserved, one, and definitely not really leveraged properly from an international perspective. And that's something that I would definitely like to spend more time on, Bonnie.
Very true, very true. And maybe the only thing we haven't touched on, which is a major topic that we're going to be covering at the Africa UAE Business Summit, is fintech and venture capitalists. Because we were hoping Shafat would join us. We're still
Mm-hmm.
trying to reach him. But t- one of the things we've experienced is that there's a big gap for venture capitalists to come in because, like you said, if it's a food supply,
Mm-hmm.
6.3 billion dollar market.
Mm-hmm.
Africa is not producing that level of quantity. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely there's a lot of potential there for venture capitalists. To talk to me about where you see VC going and what do you see the opportunities for VC?
Um, Look, as I said, the Dubai market, UAE market is quite dynamic. You have the DIFC. One of the most interesting VC funds um, that that excites me is our good friends from Altica Partners. Ibella and his team, they do an amazing job, and they have the distinction of being the first Africa-focused VC fund in DIFC, the first. I don't know if they're the only, but definitely the first. And they have actually funded some really interesting projects across Africa. And what they also do is, I think they do a really good job of actually highlighting the great opportunities uh, across Africa as well. Really highlighting the risk, managing the risk, understanding the risk, being able to communicate the risk to the investors, and making sure that the money lands in the right places. And they're really keen on technology, agribusiness, and other manufacturing is something that they love to invest in as well. And they also, I think they got the market right size, meaning, they look at tickets, below 3 million. Yes, they do the big projects, but a lot of the projects that they are actually successful in has been really 3 million and below. That's how they really started. So, um, again, UAE, Dubai, a lot of great experts, a lot of quite a bit of capital here in the VC space, and again, it goes back to matchmaking. Bringing the interested parties, the interested investors, whom we hope to invite to the summit with the right projects. It's really that simple.
When you're talking, capital raising, when you're raising capital,
Hmm.
like you say, there are people who have great ideas, but they're not yet investable. You know, what's that journey from having a running business to an investable business? And probably this is a question I'll also pose to Shafat when he joins us. But what's that journey, and how important is it for people to pace themselves and to actually take that journey from having a really amazing business idea to running a successful business to getting your business to the point where it's ready for cash injection?
Well, I think it's not an easy one, to be honest with you. A lot of people fail at it. They don't position themselves correctly when they actually go and pitch. Some people actually give up. They have a great idea. Maybe they've bootstrapped a lot of their business, and they've run out of money. They've become desperate in some cases, and they go with rates. They go with high rates. They go with deals that are not beneficial to them. And then there are others that are very smart in how they go out and raise money, and they, don't overcommit in terms of what they want to offer in terms of equity as well. So I think I'd really like to leave this to the experts. During the summit, it's one of the things that we're going to talk about is VC funds, investors, being an investor ready. I think this is one of the things that Mr. Shafat does very well. He helps companies, individuals, SMEs prepare themselves with the right numbers, the right pitch deck, and making sure that it's again investor ready. We also had Mr. Joseph on a few weeks ago. Well, that's what he does. He's really, really good at really understanding your business, understanding your project, understanding your value, and then, you know, making sure that your presentation says what it needs to say and your numbers are right sized as well. And then getting the right investor to look at you because that's part of their investment profile and their strategy. So, you know, these things are all really, really important. And sometimes these conversations, Bonnie, happens where someone will really think they're ready and they're not. They've got a whole gap in between being actually
mm,
ready. They actually
mm,
are, and I think that's
mm,
incredibly important to be told the truth,
mm,
so that you don't continue looking for money that money that's not ready to find you. If you know what I mean.
mm,
So
mm,
these are some of the things that we're going to discuss also during the summit.
mm. And that's a very important point of gauging yourself, just doing some
Hmm.
kind of a benchmarking. And so
Hmm.
it actually wouldn't hurt because if you're looking for big cap raise, million, $2 million, $3 million, it wouldn't hurt to just take some time to find out how ready you are. Yeah.
Hmm.
Instead of because a lot of times people put a lot of energy in trying to just get that meeting with a VC and
Hmm.
not enough on preparing for what exactly are you going to do once you get that meeting. You get it's like a lion chasing.
Honestly, the tougher they are, the better it is. Sometimes I've sat in on some of these things, and people are offended when they leave, but actually
Mm,
they gave them the right advice. You know,
mm,
they've given them the right advice. And
mm,
again, some of these conversations are really, really hard
mm,
because you may have a product or service that you think is just absolutely wow, and it really
mhm,
ticks all the boxes. But when you look at the market space as someone that's actually funded some of these things and they know what you're missing and they tell you the
mm,
truth, it can be painful because you put a lot of effort and put a lot of
mm,
focus, you put a lot of money into it. You think you're ready and you're not. So I've seen some
mm,
pretty tough conversations had as a result of
mm,
such things. So,
mm.
but anyway,
Very true.
we want to
Very
make
true.
sure
Very
that
true. Very
we
true.
set everybody up for success. This is the most important thing. I think this is our joint mission is to help Africans take
Yep.
their business to the next level, and that's why we're doing what we're
Exactly. So share is. Let's look at the comment a little bit. Share has been busting our comment section, saying looking forward to it. Saying brilliant. Um, she's saying definitely will attend. Looking forward to seeing you, Shay. Um, Sovereign Philip is saying absolutely amazing. Uh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Who else? Just sample a few comments here. Uh, Harvest MD Nazrul Islam is saying BD thanks. Uh, yeah, so 7th of May. Anyone in Dubai? Why should they come for this?
Why should they come for this?
Yes.
Are you asking me that question? Are
Oh
you
yeah,
really
I'm
asking
asking
me
so.
that question? You really asking me that question? all of this great information that we just shared with them and what they're going to get and what they're going to see and who they're going to meet, you're really asking me this question? They should be signing up. No, buddy. Again, they get to see you again.
Mhm.
You're famous in Kenya, and they're gonna again get a value packed morning and part of an afternoon. And also they get to meet the guys from what's the company, Lamu Nuts, right? They get to taste the cashews, right? They get to
Yes,
sample the
yes.
products.
Yep,
We're gonna have
yep.
the lady from Jones. We're actually going to have her come and we're gonna see some of her beautiful displays as well. Who else we got coming from Kenya as well?
Baraka Furaha Farms,
Who else?
tree planting.
Okay,
They're really tree planting experts. They've planted more than 18 million trees right here in Kenya.
very good, very good. So excellent. I mean, look, and we get to see each other, and we get to hear
Mm,
from each other. We
mm,
get to fellowship, we get to know each other, we get to network, we get to build,
mm,
and we actually get to enjoy the amazing food at Kiza, our partners.
mm,
So I'm excited, my friend. I'm excited.
mm,
Okay, 7th of May,
mhm.
it's happening. It's going down.
7th of May from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Kiza.
Hmm.
Let me see. So if you want to come in, if you want to contact me, info at mawaidha.com. You want to contact William, it's UAE ANG, right?
No, it's info at
Or info,
UAEANG.
sorry. Info,
Yeah,
yes.
info at UAEANG.
ANG.com. Reach out. For those who may want to reach out on, so reach out. Let's book your spot. Come out. Let's have an amazing conversation. Let's do some good business. Let's get it done.
Perfect. All right, my friend. I think it's been an amazing time together. Um,
Mm,
and it's time to now sign up. It's time to move. It's time to set up.
mm,
It's time
mhm.
to. Oh, we talk about Wrestle Kama? I don't think we talked
Not yet.
about it.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Let's talk
So,
about Russell Kema on the
yeah, go ahead.
9th
You
of
go ahead and
May.
lead that. Yeah, go ahead and tell them what we got going on in Wrestle Kama.
Yeah. So in Russell Kema on the 9th of May, we're gonna have another amazing Africa UAE Business Summit, discussing more of the same topics, looking heavily to really just look at some of the opportunities that are there. Just as William has said, it's an emerging market. uh, in the sense that it's where Dubai was maybe 10, 7 years ago. And so you can imagine if you get in on the ground floor, um, man, thank me later. So, and of course, that's William's hometown. So tell us, what have you prepared for us, William, when we come to Russell Kema?
Okay, so we're definitely partnered with Rakesh, which is the only free zone authority in Ras Al Khaimah. We've got a few of the businesses that you're bringing across. They get to actually meet some of the businesses there in Ras Al Khaimah as well. We'll have a small get together as well, where they get to display their products again, and they get to talk about their products. And let me give you just an idea of just the Marjan Island market itself. Today, you've got about 8 hotels. When it's all said and done in the next 3 years, you're talking about another 30 plus hotels that will be built just on that island. Today, you've got about 400,000 people that live in Ras Al Khaimah. Within the next 3 years, it will be 1.4 million people living in Ras Al
Whoa.
Khaimah, living, working, doing business in this place. So imagine anybody that's coming into this market, whether you're a salon, whether you're a barber, whether you're a rental car company, whether you're a flower company, whether you are a producer of cashews, there is a place, there is a growing economy in Russell Khaimah. So we want to introduce you to the market. Basically, we want to help you to understand the opportunity that's there, and that's what this is all about.
There you go. There you go. So, you cannot miss any of our events on the 7th of May in Dubai, Kiza, and on the 9th of May at the Rakia's offices. You absolutely, if you're in the UAE, make a date to have a date with us because it's going to be an amazing, we're going to have an amazing time. Great connections, great networks, and of course, amazing business. Now, unfortunately, Shafat doesn't seem to have been able to join us.
It's okay. He'll be
Um,
with us in person.
he'll be with us in person on the 7th of May, talking about a VC, talking about what you need to do to be investor ready, just having that hard conversation. And Shafat he has a way of being very candid. He's extremely candid and he will give it to you straight. He won't beat around the bush. He'll just give it to you straight. Because
Yes,
sometimes you just need that straight talk. In business, sometimes you need. I know one of the challenges for us as businessmen, you have a personal attachment to your business, and sometimes
of course,
that
of course.
can be, that can be an Achilles heel because you love your business, you're passionate about what you do, and that passion
Yep,
is what drives you. But
yep,
there comes a time when you need that straight talk, okay?
yep,
Or you're being told, hey, bro, here, this is working, this is not
yep,
working, this
yep.
needs to change, you need to
Mm,
focus here. So
mm,
that kind of straight talk can only come from Shafat Hashmi, the chairman of Stallion Gate Capital and also founder and CEO of Brandbit Global. Excellent, excellent results. And we have so many other people lined up, amazing panels lined up for you. So really, you cannot miss on 7th of May
mhm.
and the 9th of May in Russell Kima. So that's it from here. Give us a parting shot, William.
Uh, Thanks to everyone who joined us tonight. It was great to reconnect, and we will see you soon.
Awesome, awesome. So that's that's all the time that we have. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, same place, same time, we will continue with our coverage and our preparation for our trip to Dubai. And so tell everybody that we are coming to Dubai. We are coming to Russell Kema, Africa UAE Business Summit is coming to Dubai. Anyone in Kenya who still wants to come with us, please reach out. Info at mawaida.com. We'll make plans for you. And we have amazing travel partners also who are at hand to just make sure the entire process is seamless. Everything from because we've had a lot of I've had a lot of bad experiences. Guys have had a lot of bad experiences traveling to Dubai when you work with some not so reputable agents. So in terms of the logistics, the planning, all that, we have amazing partners who are just ready to just take care of you. So please reach out info@mawaida.com and we'll definitely take care of you. So that's all the time. That's all the time that we have. So until next time, see you guys.
Good night.